Navigating through the cramped space induced a bit of claustrophobia in me, but I held steadfast, pushing all the way through to the end of the castle entrance. Please note that, from this point on, we are in the Den of Furies. Exercise the utmost caution. We'd entered a dark, confined passageway. The castle was enveloped in a thick, toxic fog, in some ways making it far more terrifying than the chute. A layer of film stuck to my skin, a sensation that distinctly reminded me of blood. Ew. What is this fog? Heisuke, are you okay?
Yeah. I'm getting the heebie-jeebies, but maybe I should keep that to myself for now.
Well, it's too late, you already shared.
Forget I said that. Look!
Heisuke pointed to a pile of dismembered fury corpses scattered as far as my eyes could see. Fingers, teeth, and bits of snapped bone were littered beneath our feet, but what caught my attention was the fact that the corpses seemed fresh.
Who could have done something like this? Well, guess I shouldn't even bother asking, since I could think of one person.
We followed the trail of blood within the dimly lit catacombs. When we had made our way to the end of the trail, the mystery of whodunit was solved. Wow, he moved fast? Who better for us to see, then? He's just been quietly working his way through the castle. So what, did he go through the front door? Did he also come through the secret entrance? Crazy. Alright.
Nice of you to finally arrive.
Kozma, you made it! She seems so happy.
Huh, of course. Do you really expect me to permit this disgusting fake to build this so-called Fury Kingdom?
Disgusting? You mind watching your attitude? I'm a Fury too, you know.
No better alternative springs to mind.
Always gotta be a jerk. Well, forget you. I couldn't care less if I had your approval or not.
Uh-huh. Where is Saanen?
Right this way. None of you had better interfere.
Could say the same to you.
Heisuke and Kozma bickered like an old married couple. Oh, Chizuru is just shipping Heisuke off with everybody. Saanen, Kozma. But now that the battle against Saanen was fast approaching, I was so thankful that Kozma was on our side for once. Aww. Kimikiku led the way, and together all four of us treaded further into the castle. Almost said tended? How do you tend into a castle exactly? We'd found a large door, and it took a few tries for us to pry it open, but when we did, darkness filled the elegant hall, so black that not even a dozen lanterns could illuminate the shadowy interior. Seems pretty well lit to me. Surprisingly, it was far darker here than within the catacombs, an unnatural curiosity. Continuing to walk down the hall, we saw them, Sen and Saanen, together. Upon closer inspection, Sen's body appeared to be unconscious, leaning slightly upon Saanen's body. A thin trickle of blood drooled from her lips. Good grief, poor Sen. To me, it looked just like the water of life, but I knew it to be worse. It was Saanen's blood. Saanen, was it? I order you immediately to back away from the princess.
Order me? You are mistaken. I have the impression that you do not have any idea of who I truly am. I am your master's master. To me, you are nothing but a servant, and I expect you to treat me thusly.
Mind your tongue, fake. No demon bows to any of your kind.
I am not a fake. I am merely a descendant of the demons in the West, an incarnation of what it truly means to become a Fury.
Heh, way to put yourself on a pedestal. All Furies are the same. Just a cursed body that will hunt for blood until it's killed.
Incorrect. I am the pure, distilled essence of a Fury. but you wouldn't know. We are chosen, not made. You would do well to understand that. Perhaps, however, there is some hope in you, and with my help I can unlock your potential. What say you? Do you accept my offer to build this world for our kind, a kingdom for us to rule?
Saanen Heisuke ship strong. Oh, he's just offering that to everybody?
Me become a fury. What a ludicrous proposition. You are a snake of the highest order. Would you order a lion to become a cat?
Kozma seemed fed up with Saanen's behavior, immediately reaching for the hilt of his sword. Saanen averted his gaze coolly over to Heisuke.
My offer extends to you as well, I suppose. What say you, Toto?
So he was just offering it to Kozma, and he's like, no. Like, well, Heisuke, what do you think?
I know the struggle you've endured, your pain. To fend against the tide of bloodlust, overcoming its effects to harness your true power. Pardon me if I'm being forward, but I could easily imagine you becoming a true fury like myself.
Heisuke is nothing like you, Saanen!
Oh, and how do you mean? If you mean to say that he has no taste for blood, then spare me. I've no need for your delusions. That he has survived any of the symptoms of bloodlust at all, that he has preserved any latent sense of self must mean. Toto has developed a taste for blood, hasn't he?
Heisuke nervously looked towards me all of a sudden. Saanen was right. Unless Heisuke had accepted his hunger for blood, his mind would slowly go insane, and the Heisuke we know would disintegrate beyond recognition. But...
Alright. You got me. I've drank blood. But you've got me all wrong! At least I haven't needed to kill anyone to do it! If I have to give in to these cravings, then there's only one person I trust whose blood I can drink!
Saanen sighed in disappointment.
I had so much promise for you, but in the end you're as naive as ever. Very well, then. Unlike you, I shall continue to feast upon the blood of whomever I choose. Declining my offer sadly means that this is the end for you, given that I've no use for weak furies.
Saanen reached his right arm over to grab his sword. Then... an intimidating aura suddenly radiated from his entire body, his hair changing to a brilliant white. His presence filled the room, paralyzing every inch of my body from terror. As I stood fixed to the ground, I started to tremble in place, my body soon covering itself in sweat. What was this? A true fury like Saanen had said? Just then, Heisuke kicked to the floor. He twirled his blade in a circle, shining in the air in the shape of a crescent moon before striking. However...
My, you've improved, Toto. You've studied under the school of Hakushin Ito, had you not? Such potential, skills that otherwise would have led you to the path of full mastery.
A style of swordsmanship made popular in Edo during the early Bakumatsu period. Ito, Saanen, and Toto were students of this style. Interesting.
However, only humans use such depraved methods.
What?
Heisuke's eyes shot open with surprise. It wasn't Saanen's sword that intercepted Heisuke's powerful blow, but rather... Saanen blocked the attack with bare hands. Dang. Heisuke's blade tore Saanen's arm asunder, slicing down from his fingertip to the end of his elbow, exposing a gory display of sinew and bone underneath his flesh. Dude, wasn't this what got you to become a fury in the first place? What are you doing?
Damn it! I can't pull my sword out!
Saanen's regenerative powers were at a maximum, so intense that as his skin sealed the wound together, it trapped Heisuke's sword within Saanen's forearm. Dang. Heisuke! I instinctively grabbed for my Kodachi and charged at Saanen with the full weight of my body.
You're in my way, Yukimura.
Ah! Saanen sidestepped from me, sneaking a kick into my solar plexus and knocking me against the wall. Why do I get kicked so much? It wasn't Kozma this time.
You okay, Chizuru?
I'm fine, but... Even with Heisuke to occupy him, Saanen's reflexes were heightened to a degree that made finding an opening to strike nearly impossible.
Impressed yet? See, Toto, you could become all of this and more, if you simply shut your mouth and listen to me for once. You've been gifted a second chance at life, bequeathed powers that far exceed any being in history, yet you refuse to let them develop. This is your downfall.
Saanen mercilessly kicked at Heisuke's body, the sword still lodged in his forearm.
Gah!
Heisuke! One of Saanen's dull kicks had enough force to knock Heisuke back, involuntarily forcing him to yank his sword from out of Saanen's arm and drop to the floor. Well, at least it's free.
Damn it!
Heisuke wiped his face, trying to muster enough strength to stand, but Saanen stepped over him. Hey, Kimigiku and Kozma, anytime you want to help? As Saanen's shadow loomed over Heisuke. Ah, thank you! You took your time.
Well, I don't mean to interrupt you, but let me show how underestimating a demon will be your downfall.
Nice. Saanen suddenly turned to look over his shoulder in the direction of Kozma's barking voice. Kozma stood toward the back of the hall, effortlessly carrying the fainted Sen in his arms. Nice.
I see. So only with Toto as a distraction did you have any hope of saving the princess, is that it?
I've no allegiance to them. That boorish fool beneath you chose to rush in so carelessly, and who am I to deny myself an excellent opportunity?
Princess, how glad I am to see you safe! Kimigiku sprinted over to where Kozma was holding Sen. However... Huh? Saanen seemed completely unfazed, not panicking whatsoever to Kozma's possession of Sen. No! Kozma, no! Get away from Sen!
What?
Kozma's eyes widened anxiously. Sen, who moments earlier looked limp in his arms, suddenly opened her eyes. And then... Kozma, don't you die.
Oh.
The sound of Kozma's painful moan was immediately followed by Sen's malicious grin, her cheeks dripping with fresh blood. Kozma!
You bitch!
Kozma collapsed to his knees, his eyes glowing with enmity towards the woman who deceived him. Ah. Well, that's quite a look. Wow, you're gorgeous. There stood Sen, with white hair and a pair of radiant golden eyes. In her hand, she held an ornate dagger stained with a film of crimson along its sharp blade. Is that really a dagger? It seems too long. Princess! Oh no!
My. What was it again you were saying? About how demons are far superior to furies? Your hypothesis has been proven false. So sorry to report, but the results speak for themselves.
Oh.
If you would like to admit how wrong you were, then I would be happy to oblige you and have you join us, Kozma. You'd make a fitting gatekeeper.
You bastard!
The spot where he'd been stabbed was disconcertingly deep, and it targeted some of his vital organs. True, Kozma may have been a demon, but his healing powers had their limits, seemingly unlike Saanen's. Blood began to clot through Kozma's clothing, and with his guard down, Saanen found the chance to strike. Just then... Oh, thanks, Heisuke. A short blade was flung at Saanen from behind him, but his reflexes allowed him to catch it in midair. The person who'd thrown the blade was...
Hey, a little early to start your victory parade, isn't it, Saanen? It ain't over until one of us is dead. Chizuru, you go to Princess Sen and I'll take on Saanen.
Okay, got it. What am I gonna do? Try to reach out to her? I guess. I can't fight her for sure. I rushed over to Sen. Okay, hero time for us. Sen, are you okay? Do you recognize me? Sen suddenly looked up, stopping herself from lapping up the blood splattered on her palms. Did it work? Oh. Her pupils undilated, regaining some sense of self. Princess, please, hold yourself together! Kiku? Chizuru? Sen no longer had a deranged look on her face, and she touched her cheeks in surprise. What's happened here? I thought Saanen... Sen slowly reached her fingers to her temples, rubbing them while she grimaced in pain. Are you okay? Just sit tight. I sprinted to check on her when... No! Don't come any closer to me! She halted me with a stern tone of voice. If you take another step, there's no telling if I may try to kill you! What should I do? Heisuke, someone whom I adored, was battling for his life only feet away from me. But at the same time, Sen needed immediate medical attention. Before I could decide, Kimigiku walked past me. Please, refrain from approaching her. I will deal with the princess. Kimigiku? But what do you plan on doing with her? My duty. If she has, in fact, turned into a fake, then I must perform what is necessary, preventing any further crimes against our people. I must kill her with my own hands. This way her dignity shall remain intact. What? No, you can't! Please, don't kill Sen. She's my friend. She's precious to me. Chizuru. Maybe I was making a mistake that would prove costly should she attempt to kill me, but... I gulped, nervously staring at the bewildered Sen. Chizuru? Sen, don't give in to the water of life. And don't let Kimigiku kill you. Please. Sen's golden eyes flickered, hovering between what looked to be herself and her evil form. What are you doing, Princess Sen? Enough wasting time and kill the two of them! Welp. Saanen's words triggered Sen's frenzy, and suddenly her pupils dilated with fervor. Ah! She tightly gripped the hilt of the dagger, leaping to charge in my direction. She was coming right towards me. Just as I shut my eyes, I heard the sound of her dagger sinking into flesh. However, it wasn't my flesh that her dagger sank into. Kimigiku. Aww. No, Kiku! That's so sad! Aww. Kiku? Kimigiku! Why? Why, indeed. You and the princess are so alike. Full of heart and recklessness. Sticking out from Kimigiku's ribcage was Sen's dagger, blood oozing from the entrance wound. At first glance, the wound wasn't fatal. However, watching Sen mindlessly drive her dagger into her old friend's abdomen was worrisome. Kimigiku was steadfast, biting her tongue to refrain from crying out in pain, and she smiled timidly. The princess is Our fearless leader, committed to our people, all of whom adore her without question. Which sometimes makes it challenging for her to open up, to give her heart to those she holds dear. So, although you two share kinship, given your background, what makes you special is that she trusted you with the knowledge that she is a demon. You were the first person she could truly call her friend. Kimigiku's body wavered, and she let out one pained groan before collapsing to the ground. Forgive me, Kiku. The light of insanity left Sen's eyes, replaced by a mournful gaze upon her old guardian.
This cannot be. The spell is unbreakable. How could she have regained her sense? Only I can control her. Perhaps it had something to do with the taste of Kozma and Kimigiku's blood.
Ah, the demon blood. It is an antidote of sorts. Interesting.
Give it a rest. This so-called true fury bullshit you've been spewing was worthless. Face the facts.
Silence! There is no way my creation could be destroyed. It cannot.
Saanen's eyes burned with an intense rage, directing his hateful glare towards Sen and me.
As you wish. If it is the bond between yourself and Princess Sen that has ruined my plans, then I will slaughter every last one of you with impunity, as well as everyone she has ever met. Anyone who has so much as thought of her. With her at my side, I can multiply my furies by 10-fold, 100-fold even. And even if I fail, I will retain control of the Demon Princess, allowing me to influence thousands of demons. Isn't that right, Yukimura?
Saanen was seething, crossing the threshold of insanity that meant no return for him. Welp. I'm sorry, dude. His eyes were fixed on me, and when he took a step towards me, Heisuke stood in front of me.
Hey, Saanen. Pick on someone your own size. Why don't you leave this between you and me, eh? After all, we're practically dead men walking anyways. Stay back, Chizuru.
All right. Please be safe, Heisuke. I nodded, putting my full faith into him as I slowly backed myself against the wall in a secluded corner, like I do. From here, Heisuke's back had never looked taller, and he stood confidently in front of Saanen. Heisuke assumed his Seigen position, widening his stance. An offensive sword stance characterized by the lowering of the knees and the pointing of one's blade toward their opponent. Ah, he's gonna need that. In the blink of an eye, Saanen and Heisuke lunged at one another. Heisuke attempted to sidestep Saanen, swinging his blade for Saanen's arm when...
Too slow. Tired already?
Ha! You wish! Barely breaking a sweat here! What about you, Saanen? Looks like you're wearing a little thin there. Running out of energy!
Is that your attempt at a joke? Perhaps you're going mad after all. Surely there's no other excuse for your delusions, you imbecile!
Wow, that was a sparkling one. Saanen cocked his elbow back before stabbing out. The tip of his blade was driven into Heisuke's chest.
Ah!
Heisuke!
I warned you. I warned you this would happen. Try as many times as you'd like, but your skill will never hold a candle to mine.
Saanen twisted his blade, digging it further into Heisuke's chest before turning to look at me.
Aw, something the matter, Yukimura? Got no tears left to shed, do you? Even after I murder the one you love in front of your very eyes?
Damn. Don't have to do me that way, though, man. I stared resolutely back at him. I believe in Heisuke.
Believe in him? How futile. His time is dwindling. Better say your farewells now.
I steeled myself to refrain from panicking. Heisuke wasn't the type of person to back down so easily, and he'd survived tougher than this. There was no way Saanen would kill him now.
Here I was, thinking my charisma could charm anyone, but it has no effect on you, does it? So be it. It would be cruel of me to deprive you from one another, so worry not. The two of you will be together very soon.
Wait, is he saying, like, his charisma didn't work on me? Pardon? I have questions again. Saanen jiggled the hilt of his sword, which was still stuck in Heisuke's chest, to pull it out.
What in the... It will not go free!
Saanen grew agitated, staring back at Heisuke in shock. Using your own trick against you. Before Saanen had a chance to react. Ah! The tip of Heisuke's sword slid across the tatami mat, ripping it as he thrust the blade upwards. Why was he... I thought he was, like, right in front of him. How is he so far away? I mean, that slow zoom in from far away was awesome, but... okay. It was aimed directly for Saanen's heart. Saanen lifted his left hand defensively, hoping to block Heisuke's feint attack, but he was too late. The blade in Heisuke's hand was jabbed directly into Saanen's heart, followed by the snap of his chest bone. Ew.
Yeah.
Saanen spit up a mouthful of blood, his lips frothing. It dribbled down his chin, trickling into a wide spot on his chest, which, by this time, had been splattered by so much blood, his seemed indistinguishable.
Impressive, Todo. You've managed to kill me with the same technique I'd performed on you just a second ago.
You know, I don't know if I could have pulled that trick on the old Saanen.
You think too highly of me. I'm pathetic. Always have been.
I don't know about that. I mean, man, you had so many chances to take me out. I'm sure you could have killed me if you wanted to.
Saanen let out a derisive laugh under his breath.
No, I couldn't have. If memory serves me correctly, the impetus behind all of this is... I couldn't use my left arm.
That's right. Saanen's left arm. While performing his round, Saanen suffered a debilitating injury to his arm that effectively ended his tenure as a warrior. It was this arm that convinced him to drink the water of life.
How ironic, isn't it? I toiled for so many years, enforcing the standards of the Shinsengumi beside Konda with a ruthless command. But it was me, all along, that stained the name of the Shinsengumi, wasn't it?
To the rest of the world, we'd valiantly lost our lives years ago. Your legacy is so much more than that. History will remember you as a brilliant, kind-hearted tactician, whose cunning often preceded him. And foremost, as a man who honored the Shinsengumi.
Hearing Heisuke speak to him so encouragingly gave Saanen a sense of inner peace, resolving the war that had waged inside of him for too long.
Well then, what a relief to hear. I'll be the first one there to greet you in the afterlife, Todo.
A gentle smile rested easily on Saanen's thin lips, just like how he'd looked when I'd first met him. He shut his eyes, calmly passing into the next life. Well, at least he didn't turn to ash, even with all of that. I salute you, Saanen. Heisuke, are you alright?
Yep. He got me pretty good a couple of times, so it might take a while to heal.
Sit still. I'll take a look at it right away.
No, it's okay. I'm a fury, so this'll all close up in a minute or two.
Let me clean the wounds at least, will you? Please. I wiped away the coagulated chunks of blood with a thin rag and water from my canteen. Man, did Heisuke always have to be so reckless? One of these days it'd come back to bite him.
Hey, Chizuru? What's the matter? Are you crying?
I'm not.
There's no way you're not. Aw, come on, don't cry.
I'm not! In spite of my insistence, thick tears rolled down my face.
Aw, man. I'm so sorry if I worried you. But hey, you knew what we were getting into, right?
Well, yeah. I know that, but still. Heisuke was smiling beside me, jovial as ever. Having him here safe beside me, trading jokes back and forth, was as good as it could ever be. Everyone is safe and accounted for, correct? Kiku, can you stand? Yes, ma'am. In due time, my wound should heal itself, no problem. Oh, how are you doing, Kozma?
I feel like I've wasted an entire evening. Spare me your concern.
Dang, okay.
Are you seriously gonna be a jackass after all we've been through? I ought to kill you right here.
Hey, be nice. Without Kozma, who knows what position we'd be in right now? I mean, he didn't do much, honestly.
Well, damn. Guess that settles everything, then.
It would seem so. Now that Saanen's reign of terror was over, there was no more threat of a Fury Kingdom looming. Heisuke, what are you going to do next?
Well, I'll figure it out eventually. As long as I've got you by my side, I think I could keep it together. At least, a little better than Saanen did. Besides, should the worst case scenario happen and I lose my mind, then someone would probably kill me no problem. Like Mr. Sour Demon over there.
What do I have to gain from squashing little insects like you? Take control of your life for once.
Alright. Kozma turned his back to us, muttering coldly under his breath.
I've heard rumors.
Oh, you darling. I'm like, who's going to tell us about the miracle water? Thank you, Kozma. You are good for something here.
While researching methods to improve the water of life, Kodo had supposedly accessed a spring hidden deep within the Yukimura clan's village.
What?
If legend serves correctly, then the water of Mutsu has properties that cure the water of life's effects. If somehow you could locate the spring and drink from its banks, perhaps it will serve as an antidote for those fakes tainted by its poisonous symptoms.
Kozma, did you know all that for our sake?
I'm not offering charity. My goal was to eradicate every single fake that crosses my path. So go on and see what lies in the land beyond the mountains. Maybe for once I'll get some peace.
If you're going to let Toto off the hook, then why not make your intentions more clear?
When did I say I was doing that? If he'd rather go insane, then I will gladly show him my sword.
Kozma spat on the ground, turning to walk away from us in the castle.
Oh, hey, wait, Kozma!
God, how much more idiocy must I endure? Alright then, out with it you.
Really? Always gotta whine, don't you? Well, fine. Your loss. I'm only gonna say this once, so you better listen carefully.
Aww, Heisuke is blushing. Nice. I love it.
Thanks for letting us know about that spring. I appreciate it.
Couldn't hear you. Come again.
Liar! There's no way you couldn't hear me just now. Bah! You're never gonna hear it from me again.
It seemed that not even fighting together for their lives could keep Kozma and Heisuke from bickering. Watching the two of them exchange playful banter coaxed tears of joy from all of us. And afterwards...
Chizuru, to what destination do you plan on leaving from here? Do you plan on going to Yukimura Village, just as Kozma had suggested?
Yes, I think that's where we're off to next. Maybe I'll pay the Shinsengumi a visit first, though. Really?
Very well. Then expect me to drop by from time to time. It's a rather quaint, harmonious village.
Okay. Please feel free to come by whenever you'd like. You are always welcome. Following the Battle of Sendai, we traded our goodbyes, leaving behind the castle and all of its hurtful memories in our wake. Whew. Craziness. That was great.